Now on Coast TV News.
Barking ban begins. The new law now in effect in Delaware and how it affects dog owners.
All revved up for OC Show.
I just love coming to car shows.
We get you ready for the annual Endless Summer Cruisin as the event starts today in Ocean City.
A chilly, breezy start to our Thursday. A beautiful afternoon as a fall chill will be in the air. All the latest on a potential coastal low that could impact Delmarva over the weekend.
Schwarber saves season.
That one is deep. Hernandez will watch it fly. It's another bomb. Kyle Schwarber.
The big night for the Phillies' big bad as they stay alive in the NLDS.
This is Coast TV News Today.
It's Thursday, October 9th, 2025. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us for our 5 o'clock hour.
If you were just waking up, the Phillies' bats awoke last night.
Yes, we know someone who's waking up a very happy
Got a
person
couple
this
people.
morning. But it's a busy day for Philly fans, like first-alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. Chris, you have the Phillies tonight, the Eagles, and the Flyers, and you're supporting a Flyers tie if you look really closely.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, I got my Flyers tie on here, getting ready for the season opening night, a busy night. I'm going to have to take a nice nap heading home this afternoon. Going to be a long night on Delmarva as we take a live look into Lewis. We are pleasant out there, but it's a breezy start, especially along the coast. Mild too at the coast, 58, but temperatures, dew points have fallen, so it's a lot more comfortable out there than where we were at yesterday morning, where it was very tropical outside. You could see we're about 20 degrees cooler in Easton, 17 degrees cooler in Georgetown than where we were at just 24 hours ago. Right now we're at 52 Georgetown, cool spot 47 Harrington, 51 in Delmar, and we're at 61 in Ocean City. You can see that wind flow out of the northeast. Seeing some gusts at the coast, 28 Indian River Inlet to 19 in Rehoboth Beach. High pressure over Canada. That's really going to be funneling in that dry, cool Canadian air throughout the day today. So it's going to be a gorgeous day, wall-to-wall sunshine, a breezy day with highs only in the 60s today. And we're going to stay in the 60s over the next few days. Could see some inland frost late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then all eyes are on the coast as that potential coastal storm impacts us late Saturday through Monday. So we begin in the 50s today, pleasant, sunshine, cool. By the afternoon, we see highs top out in the mid-60s under mostly sunny skies with, again, a breeze out of the northeast at about 10 to 25 miles an hour. Well, coming up, we'll talk about the latest on this coastal storm that could have a wide range of impacts over the weekend. We'll talk more about that in the full 7-day forecast. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. And we're now taking a live look at Ocean City. Colorful cars are set to take over the town starting today, including the inlet area, which is just south of this shot here. But the event is also prompting some new rules, and that is our top story this hour. The annual Endless Summer Cruisin event back in Ocean City. Now on your screen right now is what it looked like in 2024. 4-day event showcases hundreds of different and unique cars, from hot rods to classics, trucks, and even some of the newest cars hitting the streets, something one vacationer we spoke to says they love to see every year.
I just love coming to car shows and being around people and learn more about all the vehicles that they have and talking to people.
The event will go until Sunday night. A $15 ticket or $10 on Sunday gets you into the parking lot to check out the cool cars, and anyone under the age of 14 is free.
And slowing down in Ocean City with the start of Endless Summer Cruisin, town leaders confirm the implementation of a special event zone. According to police, enhanced parking rules and higher violation fines are going into place from today through October 12th. The town says it expects thousands of visitors and heavy congestion.
New this morning, improvement plans for a Millville healthcare facility. That is what is under consideration at the town's planning and zoning meeting tonight. According to the agenda, there is a proposal from BB Medical that outlines plans for parking lot improvements at the Creekside Plaza property. The project would add 14 new spaces and include a shared use parking easement. And here's why they want that. BB says the easement will help manage access and traffic flow. The site is located off of Route 26.
Happening today in Georgetown, the latest of Delaware Governor Matt Meyer's statewide listening sessions on gun violence prevention. Meyer says the purpose of this session is to help develop policies and programs to drive down gun violence cases. In May, Meyer signed an executive order creating the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safety. Thursday's listening session is at 6 o'clock at the Delaware State Fire School on Park Avenue.
We have developing news out of Pennsylvania this morning. 2 state troopers are in the hospital after being shot while responded to a call in Franklin County, Pennsylvania. The shooting happened around 6 p.m. Wednesday in Antrim Township. This is an area in south central Pennsylvania. It's just north of Hagerstown, Maryland, and according to Pennsylvania State Police, a suspect at the scene was also shot during an exchange of gunfire. There's no word on the conditions of the troopers or confirmation of the status of the suspect that was shot.
Happening today, barking dogs must now bite their tongues in Delaware. House Bill 124 takes effect, and according to this legislation, dog owners are banned from allowing their dogs to bark for extended periods of time. The legislation describes this as continuously for 15 minutes or intermittently 30 minutes or more. While there are a few conditional exemptions, dog owners could be fined $150 for violations. And to see what those exemptions are, you can head to the article on CoastTV.com.
Also happening today, Sussex County Emergency Operations Center is recognizing its first responders. The agency says today is 911 Awareness Day, and on your screen is how county leaders recognize the day in 2024. Students from all over Sussex County were able to find out what it is like to serve as a first responder. They learned about different first responder agencies. Deputy Director of Emergency Communication, Ricky Short, says one specific agency is often overlooked.
So a 911 dispatcher is a stressful job. It's a thankless job. And the people that do it love it. I mean, they thrive on that interaction with the community. They are the first responders.
This is an annual event that has occurred since 2003 in Sussex County.
New this morning, financial literacy becomes a graduation requirement in Delaware. Governor Matt Meyer is set to sign House Bill 203 today at Delaware State University. According to Representative Jeff Holofsky, author and sponsor of Bill 203, it passed with bipartisan support. Event organizers say the signing will take place during Visa's financial football event, where students will team up with NFL legend Brian Westbrook to test their money management skills. The ceremony begins at 10 a.m. at the Martin Luther King Jr. Student Center on campus.
Delaware Route 1 about to get its first speed camera. DelDOT is installing a camera along southbound Route 1 by Conaway. That's where a number of new roads are being constructed, and they say anyone going at least 11 miles over the speed limit will get caught by this camera. DelDOT says a 21-day warning period will start, but by November 11th, you'll get fined $20 if you are 11 miles per hour over, plus an extra $1 for every mile over that. New overnight hostages may soon be home as Israel and Hamas agreed to the first phase of President Trump's peace plan to end the war in Gaza. That includes releasing all the living hostages and remains of the dead, and for Israeli troops to begin withdrawing from Gaza.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us how that news is bringing hope to beleaguered Palestinians as well.
Celebrations in Israel as word spread of a deal to free the remaining hostages from Hamas captivity in Gaza, pause the fighting, and see Israel withdraw its troops to what President Trump called an agreed-upon line. He spoke overnight on Fox News about a conversation with Israel's prime minister.
I said, Israel cannot fight the world, baby. They can't fight the world. And he understands that very well. So it's amazing the way it's all come together, and it's a beautiful picture.
That following dramatic moments during an event earlier Wednesday when Secretary of State Marco Rubio handed the president a note and a whispered message.
I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East.
The Israeli cabinet set to vote today on the peace plan President Trump advanced. Approval would trigger the pullback of Israeli forces, with hostages expected to be released on Monday, according to a senior White House official.
What do you guys have to say to President Trump?
Family members of some of the remaining 48 hostages sharing their gratitude to President Trump and their determination to see the deal through.
We will not stop fighting until we see the last of the 48 return to their family.
20 of those hostages are believed to still be alive and would be the first returned in exchange for Palestinian prisoners and desperately needed aid into Gaza. Israel and Hamas so far only agreeing to phase 1 of a 20-point plan to bring a final end to 2 years of devastating war. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Things to know. Planning for the future is the focus today in Frankfurt. That's according to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The agenda confirms that the group will meet today to review a 5-year comprehensive plan. Town leaders could make revisions to its land development section of the town code. This will all take place at 6 o'clock.
Staying alive is the theme song this morning. Kyle Schwarber with 2 home runs on the night. The Phillies win Game 3 of the National League Divisional Series by an 8-2 score over the Dodgers. Phils now trail the best-of-5 affair 2-1, and Game 4 is tonight at Dodger Stadium. First pitch scheduled for 6:08, and we'll have more in Game 3 later on CoastTV News Today.
And we're just getting started this morning on CoastTV News Today.
Coming up, self-sufficient forest. What are the next steps for work taking place at the 4th Street Preserve in Lewis after discussions this week?
Also, roadway safety review, what town leaders in Easton say they are pushing for after a deadly crash over the weekend.
And Hornets honor history. Members from the 1985 MEAC champion Delaware State University football team are holding a reunion on Friday. How their coach changed the course of life for players and develop a lasting bond. This week's Coastal Connection is next. One of the greatest football seasons in Delaware State University history took place 40 years ago. And in this week's Coastal Connections, on the eve of the reunion of this team, we look at how a coach with strong ties in Lewis was able to bring together a group of men, change their lives, and establish lifelong friendships and memories.
As you look at Bill Collick, their first-year head coach.
And what a first season it was in 1985. When it concluded, Delaware State had their first conference championship in 26 years. Collick was named MEAC Coach of the Year. However, for the former Cape Henlopen High School student, teacher, and coach, the season could have played out in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and not in Dover. Following the 1984 campaign, the Hornets head coach Joe Przicki took the job at James Madison.
You were the defense.
Collick was his defensive coordinator at the time.
They really wanted to take all of us with him, and it sounded exciting. However, I was married, and my wife was expecting with our second child. And I had worked at BB for a while, and she said to me one day, you know, this whole football thing can be fleeting.
Soon after he told Przicki no, he told Delaware State yes to taking the role as the Hornets head coach.
I was excited because Coach was my defensive coordinator when I was at Cape Henlopen High School. So, you know, when we found out that Coach was going to be the head coach, I mean, I was just ready and just ready to go.
Number 98 for the Hornets, Tim Gray, was a standout player at Cape Henlopen. With Collick as his assistant coach, he helped lead the Vikings to the 1979 state championship, and that connection helped in the recruiting process.
I was reluctant because I had my mind set on going into the Army, active duty. And, you know, Coach in his way of saying, he said, you know, Timmy Gray, you know, you'll be the first in your family to go to college. First generation.
After a loss in their 8th game, the Hornets traveled to Baton Rouge for a nationally televised matchup with traditional, historically black college and university power, Southern.
It's just totally different. I mean, the way we did the walkthrough, the way there's media everywhere, and you know what I mean? It's just different, you know, which also meant that we were important because we were here.
We just went down there and we just basically destroyed them. You know, and you know, Southern, you know, their band was again well known. So probably after the third quarter, they was playing for us and not them.
As the game comes to an end, the final score 46-8.
The The Hornets would finish the regular season with a 9-2 record, ranked 12th in the nation, champions of the MEAC, and awaiting the announcement of a spot in the Division I AA playoffs. An announcement that never came.
You do everything you're asked to do. You show up early, you show up on time, you're prepared, you do what you're supposed to do, and it's almost like, okay, so where are the football gods and tell us, okay, you guys are in. And it just didn't work that way. So it took a while for us to be able to let that go and really get back and enjoy and embrace the MEAC championship.
But embrace it they have over the years, and now, on this milestone anniversary, they will head to Dover for a reunion.
Whenever you get the chance to see them, you cherish that moment. 40 years, I mean, whew, that's a minute. 40 years, and like I said, we all been blessed, and hopefully God will see us through it, that we get to see each other on the 10th.
10 days into October to remember a time 40 years ago.
The game comes to an end.
When this group made history and formed an everlasting bond. For Coastal Connections, I'm Matt Pensick.
With the long travel.
We're hitting 5:20 on this Thursday morning, and you're checking out the live scene of the bright lights along the canal in Lewis. It's a morning, Chris, that we have a bit of a chill out there.
Yeah, we had that tropical-like feel yesterday. The cold front came through yesterday, and yes, the dew points are back in the 40s, and it feels very nice out there and quite breezy at the coast. Cool spot, Harrington, 47. We're at 52. Georgetown, a bit milder at the coast with that wind coming off the Atlantic, and you can see some gusts. 18 Rehoboth, 24 Indian River Inlet, much calmer for the further inland you go, but that wind flow will continue out of the north-northeast. And we do have coastal flood advisories through the high tide cycle today with that persistent northeast wind. Those are up through 3 o'clock on Friday. Storm watch, these are for the coastal waters of Delaware and off of Delmarva, and these run through Monday for our coastal storm that we're forecasting over the weekend. And look at that, frost advisories just to the north and west of the I-95 corridor. Could see some patchy frost interior Delmarva tonight. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit, but high pressure to our north, funneling in that northerly wind flow, and we're pretty quiet throughout much of the east, and that's really the way we're going to stay. Today, a gorgeous day, highs in the 60s, all eyes on the weekend, Saturday night into Monday, all about track and intensity with this coastal storm, and we could see a wide range of impacts. High winds, heavy rain, coastal flooding, and beach erosion are going to be possible. So temperatures this afternoon are going to be in the 60s under mostly sunny skies. A gorgeous day, but a cool day. We're going to be about 5 to 10 degrees below where we should be. So there's those northeast winds through the afternoon. As we go into the overnight, we'll see more of an east wind, and some of our far western towns in the county and interior Delmarva, midshore, those areas could see some potential patchy frost, but by the afternoon we see that east wind. We start off with sunshine and clouds increase through the afternoon and into the day, and we're looking at an overcast start to the weekend. Winds out of the northeast gusting upwards of 25-30 miles an hour, and then as we go into the overnight, notice how the winds subside inland. That could be that area where we see some potential frost. Not expecting any frost at the coast, but then quite breezy to start the weekend. But you see rain chances really ramp up over the weekend, all thanks to that potential coastal storm that we're tracking. Again, all about intensity and track. Could see upwards of 3 to 5 inches of rain. Winds could gust upwards of 40 to 60, especially along the coast, with coastal flooding and beach erosion likely here. So this takes you into Saturday night. You see some showers beginning to develop, and the brunt of it looks like it's going to come in on Sunday through early Monday, and then we could even have this storm linger around. So it's all about a battle between that high pressure system and that low. And also Tropical Storm Jerry here, a minimal hurricane it will become over the weekend, but curve out to sea through early next week. So we're at 70 on Saturday. Most of the day dry, showers increase late in the day, and then watching that coastal storm Sunday through Monday, could have a few showers linger into Tuesday with highs in the 60s. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Delaware State Police say they are still looking for 43-year-old Darnell Andrews from Millsboro. Police are now asking for your help. They say Andrews is wanted for felony assault charges after a domestic-related altercation. Troopers say it happened in the Rehoboth Walmart parking lot. Police say they have made attempts to contact and locate Andrews and have been unsuccessful.
A Talbot County town is looking into safety improvements along Route 50. This is after a deadly crash Saturday morning. Police say the hit and run killed a 68-year-old bicyclist. And at Monday's Easton Town Council meeting, the council president, Don Abatelio, said he was, quote, pleading with the state to consider adding speed cameras to Route 50, among other safety improvements. The town says it cannot put these cameras in without state approval, so nothing official yet. But people living in Easton tell us it's time safety changes are made.
I mean, it's not safe for people trying to get to and from areas that are on 50. You know, even crossing 50, even on one of the crosswalks is dangerous.
Abatelio says he hopes they will consider new options to improve safety for walkers, bikers, and drivers.
Happening today, a partial lane closure is set to end as the city finishes storm drain maintenance. According to the city, it is located at East Naylor Mill Road. That's the area right here on your screen. Work is taking place between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. City leaders say no full road closures are planned and access to nearby businesses will stay open.
Up next, self-sufficient forest. We'll tell you what leaders in Lewis say they will do to ensure the 4th Street Preserve, how it can thrive on its own. Stay with us on Coast TV News today.
We have an update to a story we brought to you on Wednesday. Lewis is moving forward with plans to restore the 4th Street Preserve. It's a project aimed at turning an open plot of land into a wooded habitat for native species. The city's Economic, Environment, and Resiliency Committee met this week to discuss the next steps in creating a healthy and balanced ecosystem. On your screen now are mock illustrations of what organizers are planning. They will begin removing English ivy from the preserve this fall, marking the first step in managing invasive plants.
This is going to be able to help them gather information as to, I guess, you know, the soil and other vital studies to create a nice place for all of us to enjoy.
Other action items include getting permits from the Sussex Conservation District for stormwater management and developing a 10-year habitat restoration plan that aims to combine simultaneous native tree planting with invasive species removal. Organizers say the long-term vision is a self-sufficient forest that supports biodiversity, wildlife, and community access. Well, we have a sunny, dry weather day today. Thank goodness. Chris, I got stuck outside in the rain yesterday.
That's a shame.
I know. So I'm glad we're not going to have that today.
No, it's going to be a beautiful day today. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s, much cooler than where we've been, but then it goes downhill over the weekend, unfortunately. We're at 59 right now in Rehoboth. Winds are quite breezy at the coast. We're seeing some gusts upwards of 25, 30 miles an hour. We have coastal flood advisory. That is due in part to high tide cycle over the next day. And we also do have a newly issued coastal flood watch. That goes into effect Sunday morning through Monday. That's due in part to our potential coastal storm. And then this storm watch is for the coastal waters of the ocean. We also have high risk of rip currents today, and that high risk of rip currents is going to last right through the weekend. Temperatures today, Ocean City and Fenwick Island, gorgeous afternoon, low 60s as we make our way into Lewis. Mostly sunny skies, highs topping out in the 60s, and a beautiful afternoon in Cambridge. Cool there, breezy northeast winds, and we're looking at highs generally in the mid-60s. Congratulations to Michael Hobbs, Millsboro, Delaware, the winner of that Paul Davis umbrella. And you get your latest forecast by dialing the First Alert Weather phone. We'll talk more about that coastal system over the weekend in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. And after the break on Coast TV News today, Governor on gun violence prevention. We'll tell you how Governor Matt Meyer says he's working to develop policies and programs to drive down gun violence.
Also, classic cars on the coast, what you can expect at this year's Endless Summer Cruisin event in Ocean City.
Millsboro Medical Center plans. We'll tell you what BB Healthcare is proposing that's set to be discussed today. Coast TV News today. We'll be right back.
Now on Coast TV News.
Gun violence focus. Delaware Governor Matt Meyer says he is seeking solutions to the issue, what to expect at his listening session in Georgetown tonight.
Toning down dogs, what owners need to know as the law on barking goes into effect today in Delaware.
A chilly, breezy start to our Thursday. A beautiful afternoon as a fall chill will be in the air. All the latest on a potential coastal low that could impact Delmarva over the weekend.
Ready to rev up. We have the return of the popular Endless Summer Cruisin event that starts today in Ocean City.
This is Coast TV News Today
October 9th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
5:33 a.m. on a crisp fall Thursday morning.
It does feel like fall. When I walked outside this morning, significantly cooler than yesterday morning.
Yes.
And Chris, it is really starting to feel like that cool weather because you're watching hockey tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to talk about winter time, but that means we're getting to those colder months if hockey is starting.
Oh, yeah. Flyers start tonight. One of the Flyers, the Eagles, the Phillies. Oh, man, what a night. As we take a live look into Ocean City, it is a pleasant start, clear skies, but it's a mild start at the coast. Temperatures are in the upper 50s to low 60s with that wind coming off the ocean. But note the dew point. We had dew points in the upper 60s to low 70s yesterday, so that it feels much more comfortable and cooler. 22 degrees cooler there in Dover, 17 degrees cooler in Georgetown than where we were at 24 hours ago. We're holding at 50, Milford 52 in Georgetown, 51, Salisbury, the cool spot there, Willard's coming in at 48 degrees. Wind flow out of the north-northeast, gusts 28 mile an hour there, Indian River Inlet, so it will be a breezy morning and afternoon. High pressure will be in full control of our weather today, and this high is going to slide ever so slowly to the east over the next few days. Now, temperatures at the coast today are going to be generally in the mid to upper 60s, winds out of the northeast, anywhere between about 15 to 25 miles an hour. So it's going to be a breezy afternoon, but a cool afternoon at that. Maybe some inland frost tonight, or away from the coast, that is possible. And then we're watching that threat of that coastal storm primarily Saturday night through Monday. It's all going to be about the track and intensity of this storm system, and we could be dealing with temperatures in the 60s over the weekend as well. We'll talk more about that coming up in the full 7-day forecast.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this half hour, improvement plans for a Millville healthcare facility. That is what is under consideration at the town's planning and zoning meeting tonight. According to the agenda, there is a proposal from BB Medical Center that outlines plans for parking lot improvements at the Creekside Plaza property. The project would add 14 new spaces and include a shared use parking easement. And here's what they want. BB says the easement will help manage access and traffic flow. That site is located off of Route 26.
We're now taking a live look at Ocean City. It is in this area of the town that we will see and hear some classic cars today. The annual Endless Summer Cruisin event is back in Ocean City, and on your screen right now is what it looked like in 2024. The 4-day event showcases hundreds of different and unique cars, from hot rods to classics, trucks, and even some of the newest cars hitting the streets. The event will go on until Sunday night.
And here's the schedule for today's events. The Boardwalk Parade begins in just a few hours at 8 o'clock. The car shows on both the Inlet and the Ocean City Convention Center will start at 9 a.m. at 1 p.m. It's the morning awards ceremony at the Inlet and Convention Center. This afternoon's awards are at 4:30.
New this morning, barking dogs must now tone it down in Delaware. House Bill 124 takes effect today. According to the legislation, owners are banned from allowing their dogs to bark for extended periods of time. The legislation describes this as continuously for 15 minutes or intermittently 30 minutes or more. And while there are a few conditional exceptions, dog owners could face a fine of $150 for violations.
Happening today in Georgetown, the latest of Delaware Governor Matt Meyer's statewide listening sessions on gun violence prevention. Meyer says the purpose of these sessions are to help develop policies and programs to drive down gun violence cases. In May, Meyer signed an executive order creating the Office of Gun Violence Prevention and Community Safety. Thursday's listening session is at 6 o'clock at Delaware State Fire School on Park Avenue.
Also happening today, Sussex County Emergency Operations Center is recognizing its first responders. The agency says today is 911 Awareness Day. Now on your screen is how county leaders celebrated in 2024. Students from all over Sussex County were able to find out what it is like to be a first responder. Children learned about different first responder agencies. And this is an annual event that's been occurring since 2003.
Delaware State Police are investigating a deadly single-car crash in Seaford that happened Wednesday afternoon. According to troopers, around 3 p.m., a Buick Enclave heading north here on Seaford Road when, for unknown reasons, the car went off the road and hit a tree. Police say the driver passed away and their identity is being withheld until family members are notified. This just in, a possible end to the Israel-Hamas war appears to finally be here. That's after negotiators reached an agreement on a path to a ceasefire.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he's convening his government to sign off on it today. And as Amy Kiley shows us, the first steps could end the suffering of thousands.
This really is the end of the war.
Israel and Hamas say they have agreed to phase 1 of a ceasefire plan.
The next few days, with each side has to do certain things. The Israelis have to pull out. Hamas needs to release the hostages. Israel needs to release prisoners.
Hamas and its allies are holding 48 hostages. The Israeli government believes 20 are alive. President Donald Trump says their release could begin Monday. Many Israelis are expressing gratitude toward the U.S.
What we're witnessing is peace through pressure.
The Hostages and Missing Families Forum says members are excited, but adds, quote, "Our struggle is not over and will not end until the last hostage returns home." Reports out of Gaza say people there clapped and cheered at the news.
It's incredibly quiet from the skies. Come on!
The United Nations says it will supply sustained humanitarian relief to Gazans. Trump says other Mideast countries plan to help with reconstruction.
I think Gazans will have massive relief as the war stops.
Experts say the next phase of the ceasefire plan will be harder to implement.
It speaks about reconstruction in Gaza. It speaks about an international security force. All of those things are very complicated.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Authorities have arrested a man they say is accused of starting a fire that eventually led to the wildfire that ravaged California's Pacific Palisades, killed 12 people, and destroyed thousands of homes and businesses earlier this year. The arson suspect, 29-year-old Jonathan Vrinderkanesh, is facing a federal charge of destruction of property by means of fire. According to the acting U.S. Attorney for Central California, authorities say the suspect prompted ChatGPT to generate an image of a burning forest in the months before allegedly starting the fire.
Geolocation data for the 911 calls showed that he was standing above the fire in a clearing merely 30 feet from the blaze as it rapidly grew.
The Palisades fire began on January 7th. The suspect did not enter a plea during his first appearance in federal court in Orlando on Wednesday.
And we have a lot more news to get to. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up on CoastTV News today, Landfill looks at new technology. We'll tell you how this business in Wycomico County could become more sustainable.
Also, Phillies stay alive, how the Bats came to life on the left coast. We'll recap Game 3 of their playoff series against the Dodgers.
And seeking who this bunny belongs to, lost from his home where Rehoboth Beach police say you can find the animal if it is yours. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
Well, your Thursday morning is off to a fantastic start as we take a live look into Lewis. 57 degrees there. Now the dew points are a lot lower than where we were at yesterday, 46 degrees, so it's a lot drier. And you can see we're slightly milder at the coast. Away from the coast, temperatures upper 40s to lower 50s. Now high pressure is in control to our north, and you can see that northerly wind flow keeping us nice and sunny and dry today. So if you're making your way out to Ocean City today for the Endless Summer Cruisin there, 63 degrees, looking pretty good over the next 2 days. Then unfortunately we go downhill, especially Saturday night into Sunday as we are tracking that potential coastal system. Sunday we're looking at rain, wind, and yes, we could be seeing some major impacts to Delmarva as we go into the second half of the weekend. We'll talk more about that here in a little bit. Matt.
Okay, Chris. In Lewis, BB Healthcare's Margaret H. Rollins School of Nursing has been named a 2025 Center of Excellence by the National League for Nursing. According to the health organization, it recognizes programs across the U.S. that show outstanding standards in nursing education. BB says it's one of just 22 schools to earn the designation this year. The school first received the recognition in 2021. The latest designation will remain active through 2030.
Dewey Beach is offering a new way to support the town while also becoming a part of Dewey history. Bricks can be purchased for $300 and will be used for the new town hall project. Local visitor or business owners, the brick purchased will be permanently on display in the facility's new walkway. This serves as a great opportunity to commemorate loved ones or showcase a business.
The Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
The Phillies were in a win or go home situation last night, but they'll live to see another day. They got it done in Game 3 of the National League Division Series against the Dodgers. Out in Los Angeles, Philadelphia came away with an 8-2 win with its back against the wall. The Dodgers led 1-0 after 3 innings, but Kyle Schwarber tied it up with a solo home run in the 4th. Alec Boehm and Brandon Marsh each knocked in a run in the same inning to put the Phillies on top. Then the Phillies exploded for 5 more runs in the 8th inning, headlined by a second Schwarber homer. Credit to Philadelphia pitcher Ranger Suarez, too, a usual starter who came out of the bullpen and gave up just 1 run across 5 innings in relief. Game 4 stays out west. It's tonight just after 6 o'clock. The pressure stays on the Phillies. They need to win tonight and again back home on Saturday to win the 5-game series and make it to the National League Championship Series. Folks, that's it for sports. Have a great Thursday.
And coming up on DSN at 8:30, we have Bayside Conference Field Hockey when Easton takes on Pocomoke. Then it's the final score at 10:30. On DSN Plus, here are your exclusives. At 4 p.m., Easy-Act Boys Soccer when Worcester Prep travels to Holly Grove. Decatur is at Benetton Girls Soccer. And Field Hockey, Decatur travels to Kent Island. And at 5:30, Cesar Rodney and Dover go at it in girls volleyball.
And get ready for another week in the NFL regular season. We have your Sunday Night Football right here on Coast TV. This weekend, you can catch the Detroit and Kansas City Chiefs. Coverage begins at 7, then stay right here for Coast TV News following the game. And if you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday.
Well, we have that chill in the air today. Certainly good for those pumpkin spice lattes. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s. Plenty of sunshine. Could even deal with some patchy frost late tonight in our more cooler towns. We'll talk more about that coastal storm threat over the weekend when Coast TV News comes right back.
The time is now 5:49 and we are taking a live look outside at Rehoboth Beach this morning. Not the greatest view there from our camera. I think our camera needs some Windex. But Chris, we're not seeing any raindrops on our camera, which is a good thing.
Yeah, no rain this morning. We're nice and dry. We're nice and comfortable. I remember yesterday felt like very tropical out, right? We had that cold front that came through, pushed the humidity out to sea, and we are seeing some fall-like temperatures this morning and certainly by this afternoon, nice and cool. 47 Harrington, a bit milder at the coast with that wind coming off the ocean. We're at 49 Dagsboro and 52 in Ocean City. Winds right now are gusting out of the northeast, 28 Indian River Inlet, 20 Bethany Beach. So it'll be a breezy afternoon on the beach. We have coastal flood advisory for coastal Sussex. That runs through 3 o'clock Friday. That is for potentially up to a foot of inundation throughout high tide. We also have storm watches for the coastal waters of Delmarva, and that is for our coastal storm that we're forecasting later on this weekend. Frost advisories north and west of the I-95 corridor, getting ever so closely to the Delmarva Peninsula. We are clear, we're dry under the influence of high pressure. You can see pretty quiet throughout much of the northeast. So we're looking at a beautiful day, a breezy day, sunshine, and then all eyes turn to our threat of a coastal storm over the weekend, primarily Saturday night through Monday. It's going to be all about the track and the intensity of how much of an impact we see here on Delmarva. Highs today, 65 Milford. Gusts upwards of 20-25 miles an hour. We'll see 65 in Cambridge, 67 Princess Anne to 65 in Ocean City. So we stay sunny through the afternoon, partly cloudy overnight. Now, the area that could potentially see some patchy frost, western Sussex, western Kent County, portions of the midshore. I'm not expecting any frost at the coast. East wind tomorrow. We start off with sunshine. Clouds on the increase through the afternoon. So a mostly cloudy start to the weekend, and that sets the stage for the potential coastal storm later on in the day. Winds out of the northeast, 20-25 this afternoon. And then as we go into Friday, we'll see more of an east wind kick in, and it's going to be a breezy to then windy part of the weekend, the second half. There's the rain chances ramping up Saturday night through Monday, all ahead of that coastal low. Where does it go? How close does it track to us? Those are all going to be ironed out here over the next few days, but coastal flooding, beach erosion, we could see upwards of 3 to 5 inches of rain, upwards of 40 to 60 mile-an-hour winds, especially at the coast, with the brunt of it going into Sunday and then clearing out Tuesday morning and drier air working in later next week. 64 today, we're at 44 overnight, some areas dipping into the upper 30s away from the coast, 66 for our Friday, and then the weekend, we're looking primarily Saturday rain begins late at night. Sunday is just a complete washout, rain and wind, and we'll have more on that coastal system in the next hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. The cutting-edge technology could be on the way to the Wicomico County landfill. This is a Wag-a-box. Essentially, it converts harmful greenhouse gases into a renewable energy source, which is then pumped into the grid and can be used to power people's homes. The idea was presented to the Wicomico County Council last night, and the landfill's acting superintendent says he hopes it gets approved, saying it would benefit the county in several ways.
When you have the ability to not only maintain better environmental compliance, to also upgrade your systems and be a better steward, and at the same time get some extra money in the bank, that makes a big difference for us.
Corey says the Wag-a-box would also create jobs and bring money into the county. If the Wicomico County landfill gives it the green light, it could be installed and up and running in about 2 years.
Here's a question for you out there. Is this anybody's bunny?
Aww.
Rehoboth Beach police say they found this adorable fluff ball at Turtle Bridge near the Stockley Tot lot. If you're the owner or know someone or know who is, police say they handed the bunny over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
And the time is now 5:53, and we're going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And today's coastal pet of the day, 2 dogs. We got 2 pets here. They love going for a ride. On your screen right now, Savannah and Harper. And as you can see, there's nothing better for them than feeling the wind through their fur. Savannah and Harper were submitted to us by Helen and Steve in Milford.
That's a beautiful picture, and we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
Yeah, scan that QR code at the top to get your friends to Coast TV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 5:56, and we are going to take another look at our Thursday forecast.
Chris, we've been talking about it for a while, but it is here, the cool down.
Oh yeah, we said so long to that humidity we had yesterday. That cold front came through and we are feeling much comfortable out there. Cool temperatures this morning, 40s and 50s, plenty of sunshine, but a breezy, cool day. All we're going to do today is the 60s Delmarva wide. 66 for our Friday, sunshine to increasing clouds through the afternoon. Some of us actually beginning in the upper 30s. Then we start the weekend off overcast skies. Showers develop late. And then that coastal low that we're tracking develops. We're going to see rain Saturday through Monday, and that rain will be heavy at times into Sunday. Winds could gust as high as 60 miles an hour, primarily at the coast. Again, we're going to have to fine-tune the track of this storm because it's going to determine how significant the impacts are going to be on Delmarva, and then we're looking at that system to clear out by Tuesday of next week. Matt.
Thank you, Chris. And coming up on our next hour, classic cars on the coast. What is on tap as the popular Endless Summer Cruisin event begins this morning in Ocean City. That and more when we continue with Coast TV News today.